subscribe to my channel.
Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you might explain everything you've been feeling lately. The pressure, the strange silence, the sense that something unseen has been moving in your life. You thought it was just another difficult season, another test. Another moment where the world seemed to turn its back on you, but what if it wasn't that at all? What if the reason things have felt so intense, so unusual, so emotionally heavy is because something extraordinary just happened for you in places you cannot see? And what if March 15th is not just another date on a calendar, but a moment where heaven itself made a decision about you? Not a small one, a decision so unusual, so rare, that it feels like the rules themselves had to bend because of you. Now, before you dismiss that idea, before your mind tries to shrink this moment into something ordinary, pause with me for a second. Just breathe, because if you're listening to this right now, chances are you spent a long time feeling misunderstood. You felt different from the people around you. Not better, not superior, just different. You notice things others ignore. You feel emotions more deeply. You sense when something is wrong, even when everyone else says everything is fine. And sometimes that sensitivity has felt like a burden. You've wondered why life seems to challenge you in ways that don't seem fair. Why you had to go through heartbreak that nobody else saw, why doors closed when you were trying your hardest, why people you trusted suddenly disappeared, why moments of loneliness felt longer than they should. And here's the truth that most people will never understand about someone like you. Your path was never designed to be ordinary, because when a person carries a deeper purpose, their life almost always includes deeper preparation. Preparation that doesn't always look kind while it's happening. Preparation that can feel like rejection, like isolation, like loss, but preparation nonetheless. Think about the last few years of your life. How many times did you feel like everything was falling apart, only to realize later that something harmful had quietly been removed from your life? How many times did something you desperately wanted suddenly collapse, and later you discovered it would have trapped you in a situation far worse? You see, people often think protection will feel like comfort, but protection sometimes arrives disguised as disruption, and that's one of the hardest psychological truths to accept. Your mind wants stability, your heart wants clarity, but the process of transformation often looks exactly like chaos, and this is where many people give up. They interpret difficulty as abandonment. They interpret silence as rejection. They interpret delay as failure. But the people who eventually step into something extraordinary, the people who truly change the trajectory of their lives, are usually the ones who survive the longest seasons of confusion, not because they were stronger than everyone else, but because something inside them refused to quit. Something inside them kept whispering, keep going, even when they were tired, even when they felt invisible, even when nobody else understood what they were carrying inside. And if that describes you even a little, then you need to hear something very carefully. The moment you almost gave up, the moment you thought your efforts were pointless, the moment you felt like the universe had forgotten about you, that might have been the exact moment things started shifting in your favor. Because sometimes the breakthrough doesn't arrive when you are confident. It arrives when you are exhausted, but still standing. There's a quiet strength in that kind of resilience, a strength that doesn't shout, a strength that doesn't demand attention, but a strength that changes the direction of a life. Now imagine something for a moment. Imagine all the times you chose kindness when you could have chosen bitterness. All the times you stayed honest when lying would have been easier. All the times you helped someone even when nobody was helping you. Those moments mattered more than you think, because character is not built in grand public moments. Character is revealed in quiet private decisions. The decisions nobody applauds. The decisions nobody posts online. The decisions you make when the only witness is your own conscience. And those decisions accumulate slowly, silently, silently. Integrity, clarity, clarity. Emotional strength, the kind of strength that doesn't collapse when life becomes unpredictable. And that's why the timing of what's happening around March 15th feels so significant for people walking this kind of path. Not because of superstition, not because of coincidence, but because psychologically, this is the point where many people who have endured long internal battles begin to experience a shift in perspective, a shift in confidence, a shift in the way they see themselves. For a long time, you might have seen yourself as the one who struggled, the one who had to fight harder than everyone else, the one who felt overlooked. But something changes when you finally realize that your struggles were shaping abilities most people never develop. Emotional intelligence, self-awareness, discernment, the ability to read people and situations deeply. These qualities don't grow in easy lives. They grew in lives that demanded reflection, lives that demanded courage. And now, something important begins to happen. The same sensitivity that once made you feel vulnerable becomes your greatest strength. The same awareness that once made you feel isolated becomes your ability to see opportunities others completely miss. You start noticing patterns. You start recognizing who deserves your energy and who doesn't. You start protecting your peace in ways you never did before. And suddenly the world around you begins responding differently. Because the moment a person truly understands their own worth, they stop chasing things that were never meant for them. And that creates space. Space for healthier relationships, space for clearer decisions, space for opportunities that sit, space for opportunities that actually align with who you are. But here's the part nobody talks about. Right before this shift happens, life often becomes intensely uncomfortable. Almost like the final moments before a storm breaks open, you might feel restless, emotional, reflective. You might find yourself revisiting old memories, old mistakes, old wounds, not because you're meant to stay there, but because your mind is finally ready to release them. And releasing the past can feel strange, sometimes painful, sometimes liberating, sometimes both at the same time, but every major transformation requires that moment. The moment where you finally say that chapter is over, not with anger, not with resentment, just with clarity. And clarity is powerful. Because once you see something clearly, you cannot unsee it. You stop tolerating what once drained you. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You stop apologizing for your growth. And when that happens, people around you may react in unexpected ways. Some will celebrate your strength. Others may feel threatened by it. But remember something important. Your growth was never meant to be approved by everyone. Your growth was meant to free you from patterns that once held you back, free you from doubts that once controlled your decisions, free you from relationships that only existed while you were playing small. And yes, stepping into that freedom can feel scary at first, because the familiar, even when it's painful, can feel safer than the unknown. But the unknown is where your next chapter lives. The unknown is where new connections appear, new ideas, new possibilities. And the strange thing is, once you cross that internal line, once you truly decide that your life will no longer be controlled by fear, you start noticing something incredible. Doors begin opening in ways that feel almost impossible to explain. The right conversation happens at the right time. The right opportunity appears when you least expect it. The right person enters your life with the exact wisdom you needed. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe the result of a mind and heart that finally aligned with its true direction. Because when your intentions become clear, your decisions become powerful, and powerful decisions create powerful outcomes. That's the moment when the rules seem to bend. Not because the universe suddenly changed, but because you did. You stopped doubting yourself, you stopped shrinking your voice, you stopped allowing fear to write your story. And the moment that happens, life begins responding differently. So if you've been feeling something shifting inside you lately, if you've sensed that an old version of yourself is quietly fading away, if you felt both nervous and excited about the future at the same time, then listen carefully. You are not losing your path, you're stepping into it. The pressure you felt was not meant to break you. It was meant to reveal you, to reveal the patience you developed, the wisdom you earned, the resilience you proved again and again. And now, as March 15th approaches, I want you to carry one simple truth with you. Everything you survived prepared you for something greater than the struggles you faced. Not in some distant imaginary future, but in the choices you make starting now, the way you speak to yourself, the boundaries you protect, the courage you show when life asks you to step forward instead of hiding. Because the real miracle, the real moment where the rules feel like they break, is the moment a person finally realizes they were never powerless. They were only waiting to see their own strength clearly. So today, stand a little taller, speak a little more honestly, trust your instincts a little more deeply. And remember this, you didn't come this far just to return to the life that once limited you. You came this far because something inside you knew there was more waiting, more growth, more purpose, more peace. And the moment you fully accept that truth, the moment you stop questioning whether you deserve a better life, that's the moment everything begins to change. Not slowly, not quietly, but in ways that will one day make you look back at this moment and realize The warning was never about fear. It was about awakening to the strength that was always inside you, awakening to the path that was always yours, and awakening to the reality that the person you are becoming is someone even your past struggles could never defeat.